Shocking report by Shams of ESPN indicating that the Heat can go for a huge fish this offseason, while head coach Erik Spoelstra accomplishes another milestone in his career during the 7-game win streak. Yo, what up, guys? Welcome to Heat Digest. I'm George Michael Perez, aka G Mike, and in today's episode, we need to go over what Shams dropped during the ESPN live show, saying that the Heat can go for a huge fish, and also talk about the next accomplishment milestone that Erik Spoelstra has. But before we go into that, please do not forget and subscribe and be a part of the 32% that have been showing a lot of love, care, appreciation for everyone here at Digest Media and at Heat Digest as well. All right, so first, let's start off with the shocking report that Shams put out. And he basically said that the Heat are on the list of a superstar athlete, a superstar NBA player that might be looking to get traded this offseason. And the player that I'm talking about is none other than Kevin Durant. So Legion Hoops here on X indicated that the Suns and Kevin Durant are expected to work out a trade out of Phoenix this summer. KD has interest in Knicks, Timberwolves, Rockets, Spurs, and Heat this past trade deadline. And this comes out of the Shams report. If you guys didn't know, yes, Kevin Durant was looking to go elsewhere with a trade. He indicates that he was not, but it seems like he kind of was, because he did share interest of trying to go to the Miami Heat, since the Phoenix Suns were trying to trade either for Jimmy Butler or whatever trying to trade they were put out there. For sure, they were trying to trade away Bradley Beal, but it indicated that they were trying to bring in Jimmy Butler, maybe trying to pair him with Kevin Durant as well, and also D Book, of course. But the Heat would try to have to get something bigger in return if we were trying to send Jimmy Butler that way. And then it came out that Kevin Durant was also interested in playing in South Beach. Shams also had this to mention, that Miami really had an opportunity to go get Kevin Durant at the trade deadline. They offered Jimmy Butler and Josh Richardson, but you have to ante up a little bit, which I do agree with him on. Yes, you're trying to give away Jimmy Butler because he wanted to get out of there, and try to give him for Kevin Durant. Okay, cool. Now you got to add a little bit of more assets, because the Suns, in this case, have the leverage, because you have a superstar NBA player in Jimmy Butler that wanted to get out of that organization, out of that city, to go play somewhere else. So the Phoenix Suns have a little bit of leverage to try to get more assets out of the trade. And we were just trying to give Josh Richardson in return. If that is true altogether, that's only the two pieces we were trying to give in return. It's not a good deal if you're looking at the Phoenix Suns side. So you would have to offer something a little bit better. And just sticking with this trade at the deadline, we're not talking about what's coming up in the summer. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But it could have been Jimmy Butler, maybe with Triple J, maybe with the rookie Kel Ware, even though, yes, as Heat fans, we love him and we want him to stick around and we think that he can be great. But at the moment, we wanted to get Kevin Durant in return to pair up with Bam Adebayo and Tyler Hero. So we would have to try to give a little bit of more assets than that. Maybe a pick or two, depending on what assets you're giving in return. But they would probably want Jimmy Butler, knowing them and how their style of play is. Maybe try to give Nikola Jovic, like I said, Triple J, Kel Ware. In that situation, you would have to try to give up at least 3 players with a draft pick for a superstar NBA player like Kevin Durant, or Jimmy Butler and another player and a few draft picks, maybe with some compensation money. But this trade right here of just Jimmy Butler and Josh Richardson, I see why the Suns rejected it. So when the summer comes around, we're going to actually have to try to trade for someone else to help out Tyler Hero and Bam, even though the Heat are picking it up now with the 7-game win streak. But we still want another scoring forward or point guard or shooting guard that can go out there and give us 20, 25, maybe even 30 a night. And we need that offensive capability, because Tyler Hero, yeah, he's been more consistent now this year. He's proven himself this year, but we got to see if we could keep going on to next year and the year after that. And then with Bam, sometimes he be playing too passive-aggressive on offense. So we need someone who's going to go out there to give us a consistent 20 to 25 points a game. But the other thing that I want to talk to you guys about is the fact that Erik Spoelstra, the head coach of the Miami Heat, has now passed the 18th mark on the all-time scoring coaches win. He passed Jin Su with 784 wins last night, beating the Boston Celtics. Erik Spoelstra gets to 785. He still has a little bit to go to get to the 16 mark of 832. But congratulations to Erik Spoelstra. He has shown why he has been a great coach throughout his career in the Miami Heat and even this season as well. Because we have turned it into a 7-game win streak when it looked like our season was being just lost and couldn't be found. We went from losing 10 games in a row to winning 6 games in a row. So there was something that switched there. And if you're not watching the games like how I do or other Heat fans that just literally glued to the TV every time they play, and especially at this part of the season where we're trying to get into the play-in and be a playoff team, because that's what Heat culture is about, just winning, and not trying to tank and go for draft picks and all that. The intensity, the hustle, the togetherness, the alma mater of just being together and competing so hard in these last 7 games have just been impeccable. It's been great to see. It's been great to see as a Heat fan. It's been great to see as an NBA fan, really. You don't want to see a team like the Miami Heat who go out there and compete every single night. Just try to tank and just leave it like they're not able to compete and they're not able to win when we know that they can go out there and compete and win. And we're not the type of team that are just going to lay down and let ourselves get crushed. No, we're going to get back up and we're going to punch you in the face just as much as you're punching us in the face. And one dude that's been helping us a lot, yes, Tyler Hero has been helping us. Yes, Bam Adebayo has been helping us. Davon Mitchell, Kyle Anderson, Kel Ware. But one dude that has been helping us that has been quiet all season, but with this 7-game win streak, he has been picking it up, and especially in the last 3 games, is Pelle Larsson, the second rounder of our draft picks this year. And the last 3 games, he's been cooking, just like the Heat coaches here mentioned. 16 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists. Obviously, the dub. 15.7 rebounds, 5 assists. 14.6 rebound, 4 assists. So he's basically doing everything out there, anything that he can out there, and he's being a great defender as well. He's going out there and he's trying to lock up the best player on the opposite side of the court, and he's trying to slow them down as much as he can. Even Erik Spoelstra has been seeing it out there. Obviously, that's why he's giving him more minutes. But he says it here where he continues to gain confidence. He's putting in all the work. You can see his skill set has gotten better, but it comes down to his intangibles. He does a lot of winning things. Tonight, it showed up in the box score. And if you're actually watching the games, you'll actually agree with what Erik Spoelstra is saying. This guy goes out there and he hustles and he plays hard. He goes out there with his heart on his sleeve and he does not quit. He will press up against anybody on defense, and on offense, he'll do whatever he needs to do for the coach. Either pass the ball, set the screen, run down the lane, try to get a layup, try to shoot a 3 or 2, try to shoot a mid-ranger. He'll do anything and everything to go out there and win, and Pelle Larsson has been showing it. And as a Heat fan, you should be very excited for him and for us as a whole organization, for his skill set on the games to come, the playoffs right around the corner, for the years to come, because he's just a rookie. Now, we only have 6 games left more in the season, and if you watched my last video, I mentioned the fact that if the Heat were able to beat the Boston Celtics on the road, I think they could end the season on a winning streak. And today we're playing on a back-to-back. We're playing at home versus Memphis. The only bad thing about this is that we're playing on a back-to-back, so some players are going to be fatigued, be tired out there mentally, physically, so it's gonna be tough on that end. But I like the intensity, the momentum, the positivity that we have right now going into this game tonight and for the rest of the games of the season. I think we could win on a winning streak and go into the play-in with some great momentum and face whatever team when it comes to the Orlando Magic, the Atlanta Hawks, the Chicago Bulls. No matter what team, I think we would have the upper hand with ending the season with a winning streak and going into those games with high momentum of just trying to win each and every game and trying to get home court advantage in the play-in. Obviously, when we go into the playoffs, we won't have home court advantage, whatever team we play, the 1 seed, the 2 seed, whatever the case is. But right now, we just got to focus on right now. And tonight, we have the Memphis Grizzlies at home. I think that he can pull it off. They'll probably win just by a few points. I think it'll be a good back and forth game. They're a good defensive team, and they can score the rock as well, just with the best of them. So with our momentum and positivity right now, I think we'll match it very well. It'll be a close game, but I think the Heat will come out on top. For Heat Digest, I'm George Michael Perez, a.k.a. G Mike, and we'll see you on the next one.